鳥かごの嘘。
It's so dark. I woke up in a pitch-black room. The feeling of cold stone against my back thrust me into a reality I didn't want. It's so cold. I sat up and then crouched on the spot, hugging my knees. Then I thought about why I was in that room in the first place. But I couldn't think of a single reason why I would be there. A boy stopped me on my way home from school a few days prior. "Why don't you come out and hang out at my place?" I was unable to say no to that tragic yet brave expression on his face, and so I ended up in his house. His house was a large, old Western-style mansion. He guided me inside to the living room, and when I sat down on the expensive-looking sofa, something hit me from behind, and when I woke up, I was in this cold, dark stone room. 3 walls were made of stone, and in front of me stood steel bars, just like a jail cell. I had been locked in there for 3 days already. We were just switching over to our autumn uniforms at school, so it wasn't yet winter. The material of my elementary school uniform was thicker than it looked, so it kept in the heat well enough, but it wasn't enough for this stone basement. It was cold. I wanted to leave. I wanted to go home. I grabbed the steel bars. I tried my best to shake them, but they wouldn't move. What should I do? How was I supposed to get out of here? At that moment, a door on the other side of the bars opened. "Let me out of here!" That was the first thing I said. But the boy said nothing, just stared at me silently. Why did the expression on his face look so pitiful? "Hey, say something. Are you listening to me?" But still he said nothing, and after observing me for a short while, he left and then returned with a tray of food. He placed it in front of me and then lit the candles by the door. The room brightened only slightly, but it wasn't like I could get any warmth from that light. I looked at the tray of food on the other side of the bars. Warm soup and bread, and some cut fruit. With shaking hands, I reached through the gaps in the bars and grabbed the soup. After watching me for a short while, the boy left the room. To be honest, I didn't want the food this boy put out. But I was no match for the cold in my hungry stomach. As I put my lips to the soup, it warmed me up slightly. Then, tears fell down my cheeks. The relief from that warm soup mixed in with the utter despair I felt. Would I be trapped in here forever? I woke up. Another day in this place was about to begin. Another day of trembling in the cold, with nothing to do. The boy brought me food twice during the day, in the morning and at night. Yeah, he would be coming soon. Let me out of here. Let me go home. I knew I said the words unconsciously, but I didn't know what else to do. Plus, I was all alone in this cell. I wanted to talk to someone else, even if it was with the person who trapped me in here to begin with. But he said nothing as usual, just put my food down silently on the floor and then left the room. What exactly was it that he was after? Why did he want to keep me locked up in here? Again, I kept thinking of questions that I could get no answers to. Another day passed. The boy came down to my basement cell with breakfast, but this time I didn't say anything. My head hurt. It was so cold. The boy looked at me, confused, but still didn't say a thing. He looked at me, seemed to guess what was going on, and then withdrew before returning with something. He brought me a thermometer. What did he want me to do? Check my temperature? If he could tell I had a temperature just by looking at me, then there were better things he could have brought, like medicine or a blanket. What did it matter what my temperature at that very moment was? Or would he give me medicine once he saw that my temperature was too high? Or maybe even let me out of here? He wouldn't really do that, would he? I threw the thermometer away and curled up on the floor. Another day passed. I was unable to think of any ways to get out. Following on from yesterday, I again struggled in pain from my fever. I was getting worse. Of course I was. I hadn't received any treatment, and I was being kept in this cold place, so why would I get better? I lifted my sore head and crawled towards the bars. I want out. I want out. I want out. The boy came down. Let me out, I said in a hoarse voice. Yet the boy still said nothing. Even the initial pitiful expression on his face disappeared. He had no emotion whatsoever. Let me out, I said again. Then, for the first time in a long while, the boy reacted.
出たい？でもダメ。出してあげない。君はずーっとここにいるんだよ。ずーっとね。